Hi, my name is Martin Smith, and I had a problem with a math question done on a YouTube channel. And this is where mathematics steps into other fields. And it wasn't necessarily the mathematician, because after I started thinking about it, not only was I sure that I was right, I went back and I looked at the question. Michael Van Beans, it wasn't his question, he didn't put it up, he was reviewing another test. So, you know, I got aggravated because a mathematician would step out of the realm, and then I thought about it for a while, and you know, he wasn't the only one that messed it up, because when I looked at it, I came to the same conclusion that he did, and I came to the same wrong conclusion. So I did not have a set of metric micrometers there at the time. I ordered one. It took a long time to get one. I live in the United States. Nobody in the United States uses standard non-digital metric micrometers. All micrometers are metric. The problem with them is that they show more decimal places than they actually have accuracy for, and a lot of people screw them up. The other problem is batteries. They go through batteries rather quickly. I put mine in a box, said, you know, this set isn't worth having, even though I spent lots and lots of money for it. And not sure where they are right now, really don't care. But anyhow, I ordered a set and they came in. And if you're wondering, with micrometers, about the only brand to buy is Micrometers. It used to be Starrett Micrometers made micrometers that you could see better and was less likely to mix up visually. And Starrett was the American brand that also put out micrometers, and their old ones, if you can find a pair that hasn't been dropped, they don't bind. Their anvils used to be superior. That stopped back in the 80s. So, you know, like I say, if you find an old pair that's 70s, early 80s, snatch them up fast. Back then, the American Starrett brand, in my opinion, was the best, though I had to use the Micrometers because Micrometers, and these are Harbor Freights that I use at my machine shop at my house, and they're good enough for the shop that I'm, you know, for home shop. I'm dyslexic, and I need this little window right here with the dial digital indicator that gives me three numbers, and that way I don't mix up the numbers. So if you're dyslexic, you like this type. If you are really good in school and really good in reading, and you have no problems reading whatsoever, then the type you're going to want to get is not those. You're going to want to get the standard type without the digits in them, because sometimes the digits will be a little bit higher or lower. That's why the Harbor Freight or China Specials, not that great of a thing to have. When I use them with gauge blocks, and that's home shop only. So, time to open this little toy up. And in the box you have a whole bunch of paperwork. What I do is I've got 3 gauge blocks at work. I have found out that the certifications in these things, throw them away. They're absolutely garbage. Most of the work is made up numbers. If you were to really inspect one of these closely, I get in about 10 micrometers every year at the shop I work at that I have to inspect and go through. Brand new ones, I'll take them against 3 different gauge blocks. I'll pull out their inspection numbers and I'll check their inspection numbers. About 1 out of 10 of them, very clearly, they made them up and just wrote down a number. I mean, just, it doesn't even come close, and they're just guessing at what the numbers are and they're throwing them in. These are made from China. They're used to metric only. If they're in standard, they don't know what number's what. So These certifications, absolutely garbage and trash. So time to set this thing up. Here's the micrometers, no digits, no electronics on it whatsoever. And the other thing it'll come with is this little key, and this little key right here is very important. One other thing I forgot to mention is you will need special tools for bringing in a set of micrometers, and one of the biggest tools is either really good glasses or this little gem. It's from Harbor Freight, and what it does is it is a magnifying glass with a light on it, and it's something that whether you have one of these mini ones that just sit on a table. I've bought about 5 of them. They are, in my opinion, one of the most necessary pieces of equipment in a machine shop. Or you get a tabletop one. A lot of old ones, you'll see them only in the inspection room. And a lot of the best machinists will be in and out of the inspection room just to use this thing, because sometimes you have to push your accuracies further than you think the tool is actually capable of being accurate. A third thing that needs to be mentioned about accuracy is types of accuracy. I break it up into 3 different types. A mathematician's idea of accuracy is how many decimal places they want to deal with, as in how many decimal places are on the calculator or how many decimal places they can get into a computer. And that's where they consider their accuracy to be. A physicist will look at the tools they have to work with, such as a micrometer, and sometimes they'll take 12 readings, take the 2 that are the furthest out, add up the other 10, move the decimal place over to divide by 10, and you take an average of those 10 readings, and it is a lot more accurate, provided your measuring equipment was set up properly. The third way to measure things is the machinist way, and that is to say that its accuracy is only as good as the operator doing the measurement. So a lot of times the operator will just pick up a set of micrometers or calipers just lying around, and they will use them. Each set of micrometers, each set of calipers are going to be slightly different. When you start splitting hairs on accuracy of each piece of equipment, this is what a physicist does. They take a piece of equipment and just push it as far as they can push it. Machinists generally don't do that. They just pick up random stuff. They don't care, get the numbers done. They're like the inspectors that certify new stuff, that write stuff down on those little certification tabs, and they're just there to put numbers down. They don't care. Nobody actually reads the stuff except for possibly me. And throw it in the bag, make it look good, sell it. Nowadays, if you buy a set of calipers or micrometers through the mail, you can't send them back. They won't take them back, which means that if you get a Monday, Friday piece of equipment that's slightly off or not as good, you can't send them back and say, hey, this doesn't meet specs. The person that sold it to you will be on the other side of the phone saying, well, we ship what we get, and if you need that, then you need to buy 10 of them and just pick the best of the 10. And that's pretty